In chapters 23, 24, and 25 of the book of Deuteronomy, we hear about a number of humanitarian and religious obligations, about how Israel's faith needs to be demonstrated and lived out in a variety of ways in different areas of life. And in Deuteronomy 24, verses 21 and 22, we hear the following related to how to deal with harvesting. When you gather the grapes of your vineyard, do not glean what is left. It shall be for the alien, the orphan, and the widow. Remember that you were a slave in the land of Egypt. Therefore, I am commanding you to do this. We see a similar statement multiple times as we've gone through the books of the Torah. This important statement of not grabbing every last grape, every last stalk of grain, but leaving something for the alien or the sojourner, the person who is just traveling or homeless, who has nothing, and for the orphan and the widow. That this was intentionally part of God's plan to care for those who are at the very bottom of the socioeconomic ladder in ancient Israel. And why does God say that? Well, it's not just to take care of those people's basic needs so that they might have some food to eat. But part of what God draws on is, remember, you were once a slave. In other words, remember your roots. Remember where you were. There's a saying you sometimes hear about, it's important to remember where you came from, for people who may have started out at the bottom, who have had some level of success in your life. And this is a refrain we see over and over in the first 5 books of the Bible. God reminding the Israelites to remember that they were slaves. They once were at the very bottom. They had nothing. They were oppressed. And so once you're out of that level, you're to respond not with hardness of heart, but with generosity and compassion for those who have less than you do. And clearly in the ministry of Jesus, we see this whole idea carried forward of Jesus' special concern for the hungry. We have multiple feeding miracles that Jesus is a part of. Jesus' care and attention to the poor, to the beggar, to a widow who had lost her only son. So this theme carries through from the Old Testament into the New, and it's part of what the church has been known for at its best throughout its history. Our care for the alien, the orphan, the widow, the downtrodden. Jesus says in Matthew 25, basically how we respond to and care for the hungry, the thirsty, the naked, the imprisoned. That will show our faith more than anything else.